Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be making a necklace using the contents of the October Bargain Bead Box subscriptions that you saw a few videos ago. As you can see, some of mine are missing some of my elements, and that's because I've already kind of decided what to do. So I'm going to try to tell you which items to use, but you'll pretty much figure it out if you have all of this. But I am going to probably write all the materials below. Because I don't really design something first, make it, and then do a tutorial. I just make a tutorial as I go. So let's just go ahead and get started. So the first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna make these units, and you're gonna make 9 of them. I believe you have 10 of these bigger beads, so you're gonna be left with one out. It's this one. I believe these are 10 millimeters moukites. So you're gonna start by sliding on a head pin. This first, then those little spacers that come in the box, a jasper, which are like these little brown beads right here, and I think these are about 9 millimeters. I measured them. I think it says 8, but it's really 9. These are more like 8x4 rondelles, those bright yellow ones. And then you're gonna use that purple 6 millimeter bead and these little bicones that are golden up top. So you're gonna make these units, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. I've already slid them onto head pins. I'm using gold head pins, but if you don't have gold head pins, you can use other colors like copper maybe. I believe copper camouflage as well with the gold. But what you're going to do to do this, you're going to stack your beads up just like that. Okay? And then you're going to take this and you're going to bend it with your finger. If you know the head pins that you use are soft enough, mine are. So try not to use the really hard head pins if you can. I think these are a little bit softer than the steel ones. I'm not sure what they're made out of. I had these forever. And then what you're going to do, you're going to take your round nose pliers and you're going to start twisting towards you. Okay, support it a little bit. And then what you're going to try to do is make a loop and get it to meet. You know, and try to make tight work here if you can, because we're going to hang these on a wire. So that's the first thing you're gonna do, okay? And try to make sure this is more straight. Just kind of like, just keep working with it until you get this. So you're gonna make 9 of these, like I said. Okay, so I'll meet you back. I'll make 9 of these and I'll meet you back. Okay, so this is what you should have, as you can see. So they're just looped, stacked beads. And then I decided that I wanted this to be a little bit bigger. So I added 2 more, but since I didn't have any more of these, because they only come in 10, I decided to use another jasper at the bottom. So you're gonna do that if you want to, and you're gonna also snip off a little bit of this this length, because these are bigger, so they make them that length smaller, and it's gonna be just a tiny bit, like about that much. So I'm gonna show you. Okay, so you want to just snap just a smidgens, like about that much, and make sure you use your flush cut pliers or cutters, and just make sure that it's on the flat end so you can have a really clean cut right there, because you don't want anything to be super sharp, even if you're bending it over. And then you're gonna do what you did before. You're gonna bend it, and then you're gonna take your round nose pliers and just kind of pull it towards you and close it. So just make the other one as well, because you want to have an uneven number for the whole collar over here. So you should have this, and we're going to set them aside for just a minute. Then I'm going to cut approximately 6 inches of this gold wire. This is a 16 gauge. If you have 16 gauge, if not, you can also use 18 gauge. Just make sure you get it as straight as possible. Just really pull and rotate it, and use your nylon pliers to kind of get it straight before you cut it. And then just cut. And it's better to have extra than have too little, so you're just going to take this and cut it. And then if you have a mandrel, which I do, I'm going to form sort of a slightly bent very slightly though, because we're gonna put beads in between, and we're gonna make sure that we can pass those beads. So don't bend it too much, just a little bit. We're gonna bend it later. But before we do that, we're gonna form a loop on one of the ends. And let me go grab my pliers because I forgot them, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're gonna bend this approximately here. Let's see, just that a little bit less than an inch. You don't want too much, so 3/4 of an inch maybe, and just bend it. Just use your fingers, and then you're gonna take, once again, your round nose pliers. I have some bigger ones here, and I want to use the towards the largest part of this, and we're just gonna loop it. You know, just keep pulling towards you, and then you're gonna straighten it with your nylon pliers, so you don't want to scratch it too much. Okay, so you're gonna make a loop like that and just straighten it up. Okay. The next thing you're gonna do, you're gonna take all of these that you made, and you're gonna try to, you know, look at this bead over here. Mine came in different colors, so I just kind of want them to mirror each other. You don't have to do this. You can be random if you want. But I really wanted to try to make a semi-symmetrical, almost symmetrical in colors. And let's see. I'll be back. I'll just keep arranging them until I'm happy. And this is going to be different for everybody because you're going to get different colors in your box. So you're just going to have to decide how you want your color to mirror each other. So I'm just be right back. I'm going to work on this a little bit so that I have them in order. So this is how I decided to arrange these. And they are not super symmetrical because these are stones, so you can't expect them to be, you know, identical in colors. They're going to have variation, but more or less, I'm happy with this. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to take this, and I actually did go ahead and ran my nylon pliers through it and re-straightened it because I forgot that I have to use these. And in order for them to go through, they are going to have to, you are going to have this pretty straight. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the first one right here and slide it in. And if you can, try to straighten this out until, you know, this fits pretty close to this loop. You know, as close as possible anyways. Mine is a little bit, I bent it too much, so, but you know, I'll keep straightening it out until we get this really next to this loop, okay? Also, you can try to find a bead that has a bigger hole. These are not made equal, so some of them are going to fit through this and some of them are not. But you do want to try to make sure that this is straight so you can pass them through. So you're going to start with one pink, and then you're going to pick up the one with the jasper, and then just use another pink and slide it, and then pick up the next, and you're going to do the next one again. So these are basically my spacers, these peachy pink beads. So you're going to go all the way through the end and just keep sliding them in, and I'll meet you there, okay? Okay, so this is what you should have. If you push them together, they're going to bunch up. But it's okay because we're going to curve this until we find that curve, you know, that we like for these not to bunch up so much. So you're going to put them, kind of squish them together, but then you're going to start fanning them out like this, okay? Because you want them to have enough movement. You want to have a curve that allows them to be hanging more. And they're still going to bunch up a little bit when they hang because of the nature of the necklace. But once you put it against your neck, they're going to lay on your neck. So they're not going to be this bunched up either, you know. So just make sure that they're kind of together, but also give them enough space to move. You know, and just keep working with it until you're happy with the curve and with the layout. It's like even put it against your neck maybe and check it. And I'm going to go ahead and do that and just get a gauge if this is going to hang properly or not. Okay, sometimes in the design process you realize that something just doesn't work. What I have to do is try to stabilize these at the end so that they kind of keep this curve. So what I decided to try is to put these moukites in between this last row. So to do that, I'm going to use this wire right here. I'm using 24 gauge because I don't have anything smaller. Now if you have 26 or 28 gauge, it's probably better because it's thinner. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to wrap these either here at the top or here at the bottom and just kind of loop them around. So let's see if I can do this. So I'm gonna slide these a little bit and just start right there. And let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to use this and just wrap it around once like that and really pull it so that I know that it's like nice and tight right there. And then for now I'm gonna leave it like that, and then I'm gonna slide this over and thread in my moukite bead and see if I can make it fit somehow in there pretty tightly. Just pull, and then you're gonna do the same here. Try to go from behind so that way it doesn't look messy in the front, and just put it together and push it. You know, just push and pull, kind of like what we've been doing with other pieces of jewelry before. I'm thinking of the mala, but this is a little different. So I went ahead and wrapped that, and then I'm gonna put another moukite in between. And you can be pretty random here. I think it would be nice to just have random moukite. So like this one that I'm putting next is kind of yellow and like that, kind of a half and a half. Maybe if I can get that half and a half in there, that would look nice. And you're gonna do the same. You're gonna actually try to go behind once again and just wrap it around, you know, and then you're gonna do the same thing. So you're gonna get to the end of these and you're gonna keep wrapping, and you're probably gonna have a hangout wire like that, like I have here. Okay, so I'll meet you back in a little bit. Just keep putting these in between each space and just wrapping around on the back. Okay, so this is where I'm at, and I wanted to show you one more time because I didn't think it was very clear. So I'm going to try to zoom in and see if you can see what I'm doing. So I have this, I have this. These have actually slid off, and that's okay. Just put it back on. And then you're going to just put it back on the wire, unlike I just did not do. So just slide it in. And then you're going to try to get this as close as possible, and the wire is going to be behind. And then you're going to wrap around this big bead under. And then you're just going to go behind, and you're going to push this, okay? See, I forgot to put the bead on here, so let me show you again. You're supposed to actually slide the bead. I was trying to just get you to see how the wrap was, but make sure you slide, you know, like our bead right here. And then just push this close and go, you know, behind the wire, in the wire of this bead right here, and then you're going to go behind over here. And just make sure you kind of pull your wire and push that, you know, so it's just kind of become more structured, you know. And you know, the back is gonna look like this, so you're gonna see the wire work in the back, but the front you shouldn't be able to. So you're gonna keep going, okay, until you get to the very end, and you'll have something like this sticking out. I hope that it's a little bit clearer. And as you can see, I make mistakes, so I have to go back and fix things. It's just part of the process, especially if you haven't done this necklace before, which I haven't. And you know, you want to make sure that you also keep scrunching up these together, because these kind of got a little messed up. I have to go back with maybe like a pair of really small pliers, not these but my other ones, and just kind of straighten it out. Okay, so you just have to keep straightening. But what this is going to do is going to make a stabilized piece, so this is not going to wobble all over the places like it was doing before. Okay, so I'll be right back until we get to the end, and then we're going to do the other loop, and then we can continue with the necklace. Okay, so I got to the end. As you can see, there's a moukite spacers on each, and you know, and I really did try to pull the beads against each other. There's still going to be a little bit of movement in the wire, and that's okay, because you do want it to look like this and not too scrunched up. This is actually quite hefty and quite heavy. But so we got here, what we're going to do here is maybe give it another turn to make it a little bit more secure, like that. Maybe a couple of turns, I should say. And then you're going to snip it off. Like, you know, you want to make sure that you just, as we always do with these things, that it gets pretty close and flush. Okay? So there you have it. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And you're gonna push it down so it's just kind of flatter on both sides. As you can see the wire work there, and that's okay. I think it's good to see the workings, you know. These might actually come out of place, but we're gonna straighten it up in a minute. But you know, just do the same thing here, just wrap it around and then just flush cut it. Okay, so I had to go off camera and restring this part, use a new one of these because I kind of messed up. I forgot to, this fell out, so I closed it before I realized that that happened. But, you know, if it happens, that's okay. You can still restring just very carefully and just do that. So at this point, you want to make sure that everything is kind of flat. So you want to just work it out before you close this. Make sure that everything is in place. So don't forget these. I forgot one, like I mentioned, but these kind of things happens. So now we're going to make the other loop. So we're going to, and mine was on the other side initially, but that's the same thing. So what you're going to do is you're just going to, like we did earlier, we're just going to fold. And you know, because we want this pretty tight. It doesn't have to be completely tight, but pretty tight, because we want this to be the stable piece and like the bottom. So we're just gonna do that. Straighten out your wire as much as possible. I think that helps. And then you're going to do what we did before. You probably don't need that much wire. I'd say cut about 3/4 of an inch like we've done before, so about there. And then we can always readjust and maybe even cut a little bit more. Make sure that you cut with the flush side, like the wire on the flush side, like right there. And now you're just gonna close your loop, just like the other side. So I do have to twist my necklace a lot. I'm sorry about that, but I can't do it not doing this, because this is the way I work. So you're just gonna take towards the widest part of the round nose pliers, and you're just gonna bring the wire around gently in a loop. Try not to scratch. This is like softer wire than I'm used to, because I'm used to working with sterling silver. So I have to be mindful of that. And I'm going to check my loops. This one looks slightly bigger, so I'm going to cut it a little bit and readjust it, because I want to try to make them even. You know, and that looks more even. So there we have it. We have our central piece, and that was a lot of work, wasn't it? But isn't it pretty? So now what we're going to do, the next thing is attach the chain. Now you can stop here and just attach the chain. I do have a couple of things that are not from the box, and it's these tassel bead caps, and I want to use them. So I'm going to connect them right here, and I'm going to put a bead in between. You could also do this if you wanted to. That actually looks kind of pretty. I'm thinking about it. We'll see. That would be a nice way to close it. Maybe if these were a little bit bigger, I would have done that. But what I'm probably going to end up doing instead is I'm going to, you know, include this jasper right here. And what I want to do, I think, is also attach some of the little feathers that we got. I haven't decided which ones. I might have to attach them with some beads because these are too big. The other ones are bigger, so they could potentially fit, but I don't know if I like it. We can always try it and then decide later. Unfortunately, these are not double-sided, so they wouldn't be symmetrical, which is not that big of a deal. What do you guys think? Do you think we need these? I'm not 100% sure, but maybe these would be better with like a little bead here. I don't know. That could be cute. So lots of possibilities here. You can play with your designs and then just, you know, decide on your own if you want to add these or not. Do you want to maybe add a little bit of wire so that they come down here? We could do that. I was thinking about doing that. As you can see, I play with my designs quite a bit. I don't just make up my mind on one design and go. I kind of like that. I just don't know. They probably wouldn't fall like this, though. They would fall under. So I might put just these if I do want to add this. So, but let's go ahead and let's finish the necklace, and maybe I'll add them at the end. We'll see. So after I measure everything, this is about 3 inches, and if I put these, they add an inch on each side. So this unit is about 5 inches more or less. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use my chain and I'm gonna cut 12 inches. And the great thing about this chain is that you can open the jump ring, so you don't have to cut it. You can always reconnect it if it doesn't work. So just find that seam, which is right there, and you can just open it with your pliers. So I'm gonna do that. And just try not to deform the chain and you'll be fine. So I'm just gonna take this off. And you could lose that link if you want to, but I'm just gonna try to close it very carefully so it doesn't get disfigured. And we are gonna cut this later. I think this will be enough because I want more of a collar necklace. So hopefully this will be enough. And once again, another thing you can do, you can take the rest of the chain at the end and just add a little bit of a length so that it becomes adjustable. And I'm probably gonna end up doing that because, you know, I don't know if I plan to keep this one. I'll probably end up selling it. So I want it to be extendable for other people to use. So we're going to wrap these to these, and to do that, we're gonna take some, let's see, I'd say maybe 22 gauge wire if you have, or 20 gauge wire if you have a 24, or you should be fine, or 22. I'm gonna try to use this one. Hopefully it fits through. It looks pretty good. And I am going to add it to this. I was thinking about maybe adding this yellow right there. I think that would be interesting. I'll just add a little bit more length. So let's just go ahead and do that. So I'm going to cut a piece of wire that is large enough. And then I'm just going to thread it into this. And I think I am going to wire wrap these. So I'm going to start by wire wrapping one side. To wire wrap, you can take, try to straighten your wire a little bit. I always like to straighten my wire. It doesn't have to be completely straight, but the straighter the better. And then you're gonna take your flat nose pliers and just make a loop. Give it enough distance because you want to be able to wire wrap. Take your nose pliers, and you know we are using it on both sides. So you just go ahead and make a loop like that. Open it up, slide your chain in, and then you can close it and wrap it. So just close it. And then I just use my fingers. I'll do a couple of wraps, 1 or 2, no more than that, because it's a thick wire. If you use a smaller wire, you can get away with 3. I usually do about 1.5 turn. Cut it flush. And then I think I am going to use this. Let me see. Just like to test things out and see how that looks. It kind of looks good like that too, doesn't it? Just kind of like with the wire. Just the wire? What do we think? I can't make up my mind. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes I can't make up my mind. Let's see. So I slide everything in and try to imagine if that would work. So my brain tells me to do this. So I'm just going to do this. And now I'm going to wire wrap the other side, which is okay if you don't want to wire wrap it directly. That's fine. We can open this up, and I'll show you how to do that. So go ahead and wire wrap this side like we did before. You know, give it maybe like use your chain nose plier and make a loop. Make sure that it's in the other side as this one. Once again, I don't remember which one I use, but it doesn't matter which one you use. Just try to make the loops the same, you know. So just do that. And then just give it maybe a couple of turns if you can. I have to do 2.5 here, almost 3 because too much distance, but that's okay. So you see, like right there. And then you cut it real close. And then you tuck it in with this little pliers over here. Just tuck it in, so make sure that it's not. And then you can open this up by just gently twisting it away. And you can add this. And you know, I'm going to go ahead and add this too. And then if I don't like it, I can always take it off. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And then just gently close it back in. Like that. You don't want to do that too many times because it will break. So that's what I decided to go ahead and do this. And then if I don't like it once it hangs, you know, I can always take it off. You know, I'm not 100% sure about this one, but we'll see. For now it looks cute, but then we'll see. So you're gonna do the same thing on the other side, and you're not gonna do this until the end. You're gonna find your middle later, the middle of your, let me see, the middle of your chain. You're gonna find it later, and then you're gonna cut it, you know, once everything is connected, because it's easier that way. So I'm gonna do the same thing that I did on this side, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is what we got. We're pretty much finished. The only thing that you gotta do is just put these together and find your center. Mine is this one right here. And I'll just snap that off. And then you can connect your chains with a jump ring and a clasp. So I'm going to try to find the clasp that I like. You could also use the toggle clasp. I was thinking about doing that. The toggle clasp if you want to, or if you want to use a lobster clasp, you can. So I have to find a specific lobster clasp I have, so I'm probably going to end up attaching that. I'm not feeling this one because this one has a little bit more of a modern feel to me. So this toggle clasp is a little bit more dainty and Art Nouveau-ish. So I'm going to go find a lobster clasp, and I'm probably going to take the rest of my chain here. Maybe not all of it, but a little piece, and attach it to the back to make an extension. To make an extension, you can go every few links and attach a jump ring, and then go another jump rings, and then maybe like put a little dangle in the back, and just, you know, that way you can make it more adjustable for people, okay? So I'll be right back and I'll show you my finished piece. Actually, really quickly, let's see, to open a jump ring so you can connect it here in your lobster clasp, I wanted to show you real quick. I covered this already, but it's never bad to, you know, give a reminder. You never want to pull away. You always want to move them up and down, like apart like this. So that's how you open a jump ring. Then you slip it on the chain, and you slip on, you can use this one as your closing side. I believe usually clasps go on this side. I'm always confused about the side the clasp goes on, but yeah, just open another jump ring like this, and then just slip it on the last link of the chain. And then to close a jump ring after you put your clasp on, you do the same, just the opposite way. So just take this and take this and just slowly go past it and back up until you meet, or close to meet. Some jump rings don't want to completely meet, but you want to try to make sure that you meet as close as possible, like this. And then you're going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to leave it open for now because I want to attach a little bit more chain. So then I'll be right back and show you the finished piece. Okay, and we're back, and this is my finished piece. I also decided to do some matching earrings. Let me just zoom you in so you can see them better. It's like right there. It's just basically the same techniques that we use, but instead of a head pin, I use an eye pin so that I can open it up and put these at the bottom. Then let's see, what did I do differently with the necklace? It's like I said, like you saw, I cut it, then I added, you know, my jump rings and my clasp, and then I added a little bit of chain, a jump ring, a little bit of chain, a jump ring, so I can make it adjustable. And I decided to dangle a little feather at the end because why not? For now, I decided to keep these. I don't think they're gonna fall like to the side like this. They might fall a little bit forward, and that's okay. I don't mind. I think it looks kind of cute anyways. You can also like guide them to the front so they look more like they're in the front. But I really like this necklace. Isn't this cute? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Well, I hope this tutorial was helpful. I know it was a little bit all over the places when it came to this, but sometimes when you design, things don't work out and you have to adjust and readjust and get ideas. And I had sort of an ideas that I probably would have had to stabilize down here to make it in one piece. And I think it turned out great. I really love this necklace. It's modern and yet a little vintage because of the colors. The browns are really pretty. I love the pop of yellow and the pop of purple. gives a little bit more life. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I thank you for being here with me again today for another tutorial. I'm hoping I'm getting better at these, and I hope to get better and better. I hope I gave you some design ideas. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe below so you can get notification on when I post. And once again, I appreciate your time so much. And I hope you have a great day and a lot of creative time. Okay, bye guys.